And we have Thomas Paine on hand to actually help us with this song. Thomas?
These are times that should try men's souls. This is probably the world's first nuclear hair-trigger protest. The message is that the risk of nuclear war depends as much or more upon nuclear command and control systems as upon the actual number of missiles. 100 missiles in hair-trigger preemption or launch or warning modes may well be more dangerous than 1,000 missiles not on a hair trigger. The danger due to the hair trigger is foolishly pooh-poohed by the establishment in violation of the Constitution and of common sense. Recently, the Pentagon acknowledged the plausibility of the nuclear winter theory and the threat of extinction. Despite this awesome revelation, the Secretary of Defense refused even to review nuclear war policies on the sole ground that they have proved their worth by deterring nuclear war for 40 years. I reply with words that I wrote in 1776, except that I replaced the words Great Britain with nuclear threat. I have heard it asserted by some that as America has flourished under the nuclear threat, the same connection is necessary towards her future happiness and will always have the same effect. Nothing can be more fallacious than this kind of argument. One might as well say a child is never to grow up. But even this is admitting more than is true, for I answer roundly that America would have thrived as much, and probably much more, had no nuclear threat been relied upon. But the nuclear threat has protected us, say some. That she hath taken our taxes and engrossed us is true. Alas, we have been long led away by ancient prejudices and made large sacrifices to superstition. Even brutes do not devour their young, nor savages make war upon their families. Our duty to mankind at large, as well as to ourselves, instructs us to renounce the nuclear threat. O ye that love mankind, stand forth. Mr. Secretary of Defense, your cultish pursuit of hair-trigger readiness for all-out nuclear launch debases the United States of America. In 1787, we did provide against your 20th century nuclear dilemma. The menaces of war are ancient. It was not the Commander-in-Chief of the Strategic Air Command who said a quick decision is an unsafe decision. It was Sophocles 2,500 years ago. I myself urged safeguards against a monarchical president, and it is clearly mandated in the War Powers Clause that only the Congress shall declare war. Mr. Secretary of Defense, your nuclear hair trigger could at any time hurry us not only into war, but into extinction without any meaningful human deliberation whatsoever. You are building a tower of pennies which has already wobbled. Present launch or warning drills are as dangerously brief as ice can be dangerously thin. The time is shortening and the complexity of the decision is growing. The ice is visibly thinning as the burden on it increases. Experts concur that there is not time to conclusively verify attack warning. A proper decision is out of the question. There isn't time for a cup of tea. As Senator Goldwater told General Ellis in 1981, are not those launch or warning conferences automatic? If you can complete a conference in deleted minutes, that is a fast conference. General Ellis replied, there is a procedure that has been defined. The purpose of the conference is to get a decision. Goldwater retorted, you ought to change the word conference. That sounds too long. I propose the word drill. The vestigial person in the loop charges through a computerized checklist. The button pushes the people. Because of the imminent threat it poses, the operation of launch or warning capability ranks as an illegal first use of nuclear weapons and as an act of war. A gun may be legally worn, but when that gun is loaded, aimed and cocked, then the law intervenes on behalf of persons threatened. The Fifth Amendment guarantees that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty or property without due process of law, and so unwilling to tolerate a peacetime risk that is plainly out of hand, I am simply asking the courts to inform the Secretary of Defense that launch or warning is unconstitutional. The Pentagon does not contest the fact of ongoing risk, but asserts that the President has the unilateral authority to delegate launch or warning to computer-governed military drills. The judge agreed, and so I am appealing. But I am appealing not only in court, but directly to you. As I stated in the Rights of Man, A constitution is the property of a nation and not of those who exercise the government. If people can be moved to sing that launch your warning is unconstitutional, then surely it is. So please help me to make this point.